In 1907, the British general and war hero Robert Baden-Powell founded the Scouting movement. He believed this venture would contribute to the physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual development of young people, preparing them to be responsible citizens in their communities. 3 years later, in 1910, an American magazine and newspaper magnate named William Boyce, visiting London, lost his way on the street. According to legend, Boyce approached a young boy and asked for directions. That youngster escorted Boyce all the way to his destination. Boyce offered the lad a tip, but the youngster declined the gesture. "I am a scout," the boy explained, "and the scout's oath is to help other people at all times." Deeply impressed by the young man's earnestness, Boyce returned to the United States, determined to establish a similar movement on these shores. Searching for eleemosynary support, Boyce approached a friend named Mortimer Schiff, the son of the distinguished financier and philanthropist Jacob Schiff. The fledgling Scouting movement impressed the Schiffs, and they contributed generously to the budding organization. And they also expressed their hope that Jewish youth would also be encouraged to become scouts. And so they were. For 3 years later, in 1913, the first Jewish Boy Scout troop in the United States was formed at the 92nd Street Y, and by 1917, there was a Jewish scouting troop at Rockdale Temple here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The heart of the Scouts' famous oath, to help other people at all times, is much more, friends, than a promise. The phrase epitomizes the most universal ethical precept known to humankind. For in Leviticus we are enjoined to love your neighbor as yourself. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. And the Jewish sages of yore insisted that this simple precept was the most important rule in the entirety of the Torah. With this inspiring history in our thoughts and this lofty injunction in our hearts, let's begin these activities with prayerful sentiments. Tzur kol ha'olamim, O Rock of Ages, Tzadik bechol hadorot, eternal source of goodness, we assemble this morning in prayerful gratitude for this opportunity to celebrate the achievements of the Scouting movement, and of course, our honoree, dear friend, who has striven to help other people at all times. We are thankful, all of us, for the manifold blessings that have enriched our lives. Let each of us this day resolve to be good scouts, helping others so that our city, our nation, and the world, with all its flaws and imperfections, may continue to bring us bounty and blessing, and one day fulfill the patriot's vision of a nation that vouchsafes liberty and justice for all. May the Atik Yomaya, the Ancient of Days, incline our hearts, our heads, and our hands to to the ongoing collaborative communal effort enshrined in the psalmist's far-echoing and beloved aspiration, Hinei ma tov u'ma na'im shevet achim gam yachat. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brothers and for sisters to dwell together in peace. V'chein yehi ratzon. So may it be. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. To keep our program moving, please begin to enjoy the salads that have been placed at your table. Lunch will be served during today's program.
My name is Evelyn McCormick from PAC 293, chartered by the Crossway Community Church in Crosby Township. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mike Lakin, the chair of the Danbury Council Board of Directors. Mike is a longtime member of the Good Scout Award Luncheon Committee, having chaired several of the events. Mike received the Silver Beaver Award, the highest volunteer recognition the local council can bestow in 2023, and became the chair of the Danbury Council in 2025. Please welcome Mike Lakin to the podium.
So could everybody give Evelyn a nice round of applause? I know it's a little tough to stand up here in front of 500 people. So thank you very much, Evelyn. On behalf of the Danbury Council Board of Directors and all the youth and families that we serve, it's my pleasure to welcome you today. This is one of our largest events of the year, and I couldn't be more excited to be here with you. Our Good Scout Award Luncheon serves as an annual celebration of scouting, something that most of us in this room share in common. As chair of the board, I have the opportunity to consistently see and experience the impact that scouting has on our community. I hope that after today, you're able to rekindle some of those feelings that I have for scouting across the region. This is an organization that is unmatched in our community. Our breadth and depth of leadership training and impact on young people is a tradition that's lasted more than 113 years and will continue for what I hope to be at least 100 years more. Today, I get the short honor and the distinct honor of introducing you to the real MC of our event, and it's a delight for me to introduce you to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Kyle Inskeep. He's the news anchor for Cincinnati's Local 12 Evening News, and prior to moving to Cincinnati, Kyle worked as a morning reporter and fill-in anchor for Fox 59 in Indianapolis for 3 years. While he was there, he covered the 2017 president inauguration and the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. During his first year out of college, Kyle worked for NBC News in Washington, D.C. He was selected as the 2012 Tim Russert Fellow, and as part of this program, Kyle worked as a researcher for the network's political unit, assisted correspondents and field producers, and worked alongside the Meet the Press digital team. Kyle graduated magna cum laude from Butler University with a degree in electronic journalism. So please, everybody, give a warm welcome to our MC of the 2025 Good Scout Award Luncheon, Mr. Kyle Inskeep.
Thank you. It's great coming. I always say some of you may know me as your evening news anchor. If not, you should make better decisions on where you're getting your local news from. Excuse me, I'm going to move this step stool just for a moment because I think I'm a little too tall to use it. Oh, you're fine. How's everyone doing today? Oh, no. We've got like 500 people in here. Good afternoon, everyone. There we go. Thank you so much, Mike, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to each and every one of you for being here today. And welcome to the 2025 Good Scout Award Luncheon. Make some noise if you're excited to be here, ladies and gentlemen. We also want to say a big thank you to Rabbi Gary Zola for that invocation, and thank you to the Color Guard from Troop 243 and Troop 1501. Didn't they do an incredible job? Can we give them a big round of applause? It is a great pleasure to be here with all of you on this afternoon, once again in support of scouting all across Greater Cincinnati and in Northern Kentucky. A little known fact, I was a Cub Scout in Columbus, Indiana. Any Hoosiers in the building tonight? All right, there we go. And I was even a Pinewood Derby champion. Yes, this was a long, long time ago. So maybe I should add that to my bio too. If they invite me back next year, we're going to somehow work that into the bio. This afternoon and throughout the next few days, make sure to post and share your personal experience on social media. And as you do so, please use the hashtag Be Prepared for More. Everybody say, Be Prepared for More. And GSAL 2025, I'm not going to make you say that one because that one's a little more complicated, in your post. And for all the old timers here, if you're not sure how to use hashtags, Instagram, Facebook, any of that, ask a scout to show you how. I did not write that joke, okay, so I wasn't trying to be mean to anybody, but it was a good little humor there. And also, if you are not following the Dan Beard Council on Instagram, I know everybody in here has Instagram, pick up your phone right now and search the Dan Beard Council so you can follow them on there. I know a lot of you are on LinkedIn as well, so pick up your phone, open that LinkedIn app, and follow the Dan Beard Council on LinkedIn as well, please. So the Good Scout Award Luncheon celebrates the impact of scouting all across our region and annually recognizes an outstanding community leader who exemplifies the Scout Oath. And today we are going to recognize Gary Heiman, who is the chairman and CEO of one of Greater Cincinnati's most admired companies, Standard Textile. Can we give Gary a big round of applause? And then later in today's program, we are going to hear from Ohio State University's Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and motivational speaker, Troy Smith. Let's give it up for Troy as well. Troy's story of leading under pressure is incredibly inspiring, as is the work that he is doing right now to improve mental health care access for underprivileged youth. So right now, we would like to recognize and thank all of this year's Good Scout Award Luncheon sponsors. There are a lot, so bear with me, and we're going to hold the applause until the end. Sound good, everybody? All right. So our platinum sponsor, Standard Textile, and then we also have the Kim and Gary Heiman Family Foundation. Our diamond sponsors today, Emeritus, Baker Construction, Deloitte, FFE Engineering and Architecture, LEK, International Textile Ltd, and Western and Southern Financial Group. Our gold sponsors today, we have First National Bank, JTM Food Group, Steve Korach and Friends, Shah Safari, Jack Kreitler, Apple Spice Junction, Irvin and Gail Keyback, Tasmanian Freight Systems, Inc., Towellers Limited, Wood Heron and Evans, LLP. So now give me a big round of applause for all of our incredible sponsors. You guys are such a great audience. You listen so well. Make sure to look at your program to see the full list of sponsors and table captains for today's event. Thank you once again to each and every one of you for your generous support of scouting across our region. So next, we would like to recognize a group of extraordinary people. I'm going to ask you to please stand, but again, hold your applause to the end, and I know you're going to do that because you did it so well before. So right now, I need all current and former members of the Dan Beard Council Board of Directors. Please stand and then remain standing. Next, I need all of our Eagle Scouts. And remember, folks, only 4% of our Scouts attain the rank of Eagle. I want to give them a big round of applause, but we're going to wait. And next, I need all of our Scouts of every rank, Life, Star, First Class, Second Class, and Tenderfoot. If you are currently or were at any point a parent of a Scout, you can also stand right now. As you can see, more and more people are starting to stand. If you have hired a Scout ever, please take a moment to stand right now. And this is where I think everybody is going to stand. If you know and admire a Scout at any point in your life, stand up. If you're not standing, just go ahead and stand up, okay, at this point. So take a look around you right now. Everyone in this ballroom is standing, and this is why scouting is so important, right? It's the power of positive change. So we did this last year, and it was a hit. So we're going to continue the tradition of taking a Good Scout Award selfie. So I'm going to take my phone, and hopefully this works out. If it doesn't, we're just going to act like it didn't happen. I'm going to go to this side, and then I'm going to go to this side to see if we can get everybody. And on the count of 3, we're going to say Cincinnati. So let's see here. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, then I'm going to come to the other side because I don't want anyone to feel left out, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to also do a video so that I can capture everybody. Let's see here. All right, Cincinnati on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys look so good. Maybe we'll figure out a way to work this into the news tonight at 5, 6, or 11, okay? Local 12, it's your favorite, right? Okay, you guys can be seated. So it is so powerful to see 500 people coming together for such an amazing and transforming experience like Scouting. Your support is making a direct impact on tens of thousands of local youth, providing opportunities for them to be prepared for more adventures, growth, friendships, confidence, fun, camping, and appreciation for the outdoors. By supporting Scouting, you are helping prepare a new generation for lifelong success.
You wonder how they're going to find their way, how to get them ready for the times you won't be there to help, how to help them to be strong enough, brave enough, mentally sharp, moral. They need confidence without arrogance.
That was awesome.
Skills without screens for the world beyond school and sports. Ready for emergencies, for challenges, for whatever the world throws their way. Prepared with what they have in their heads and hearts. What they can do with their own 2 hands. What they can do working with others and by putting others first. They need social without the media. A way to experience the real world in real safety. A place to be challenged without being overwhelmed. A safe place to explore the world and imagine what's possible for them in it. Where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership. Where their individual effort can create something invaluable, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
And so now to provide their personal insights on the benefits of Scouting, please welcome Eagle Scout Samuel Marshall from Troop 186 in Lebanon, Ohio. Samuel has been involved in Scouting since kindergarten, starting with Pack 57 at Louisa Wright in Lebanon, and he is now a freshman at Hawking College. A big round of applause right now for Sam. Congratulations. Thank you.
Samuel Marshall. I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 186, and today I want to share my scouting journey and how it shaped my life. My journey began in kindergarten when I joined Cub Scout Pack 57 in Lebanon, Ohio. At the time, I didn't fully understand what scouting was about. I just knew it involved having fun and going camping. My dad had been a scout himself, which gave me a connection to the experience, even though I was still figuring it all out and what it all meant. Over time, my parents became more involved. My dad served as my den leader and later as my cub master, while my mom joined the pack committee. As I approached my year of light, I started thinking about my next steps, crossing into Boy Scouts. My dad, an Eagle Scout himself from Troop 57, shared his own experiences, telling stories of his time in Scouts and incredible opportunities that awaited me. While I was excited, I also felt nervous. Joining Troop 186 was a big transition. It was much larger than I was used to, and the thought of meeting so many new people was intimidating. My first camp out at Red River Gorge was a mix of excitement and uncertainty. But that weekend became the start of a journey that would be unforgettable and would shape who I am today. Since that first trip, I've embraced every challenge and adventure that came my way. I've attended 3 summer camps, building friendships, developing new skills, and growing more confident in myself. I've gone to 4 high adventures, pushing my limits and exploring the outdoors in ways I never imagined. Going to NOAC and attending the National Jamboree was an experience like no other. I met scouts across the country, shared stories, and discovered the friendships that make scouting so special. Looking ahead to the World Jamboree in 2027, I feel incredibly grateful for the opportunities and all my experiences and those still to come. Scouting has taken me to places I never thought I'd go and given me memories that will last a lifetime. What once felt like an uncertain step has become one of the most rewarding journeys I could have ever asked for. Beyond the adventures, scouting has had a profound impact on my life in many ways. When I first joined, I knew almost nothing of the outdoors. And over the years, I've learned how to set up a tent, build a fire, cook in the outdoors, and go on backpacking trips. But most importantly, scouting has taught me leadership, teamwork, and perseverance. I developed skills that I know will last me for the rest of my life. One of my most meaningful aspects of Scouts has been the bond it has strengthened between my dad. Sharing camping trips, NOAC, High Adventure, and Jamborees has created memories I will cherish forever. Following in his footsteps to earn my Eagle Scout rank is one of my proudest achievements. Beyond personal growth, scouting has opened doors to incredible experiences and connections. I've met people from all walks of life, traveled to places I've never imagined, and gained exposure to careers and skills that have helped shape my aspirations. The lessons I've learned and the experiences I've had through scouting have guided me toward a future I'm passionate about. Looking back, joining Scouts was one of my best decisions I've ever made. It has given me an unforgettable adventures, lifelong friendships, and strong foundations for my future. I am incredibly grateful for everything scouting has taught me, and I know the values and skills I've gained will continue to shape me for the rest of my life and years to come. Scouting has been an important part of my success to date and has helped create a pathway for future successes. And it would have not been without support from scouting from people like you. Because of you, scouts like me and more than 10,000 other young people in our area are impacted in a positive way. If you have already donated, thank you. If you have not had the opportunity to support the boys and girls of Danbury Council, please consider donating at this time. There are pledge cards on your table. Your financial investment will allow Scouts to remain strong and provide other youth with the same opportunities I've had. As I go forward in life, I know my experiences in Scouts have prepared me for anything. Thank you for making the investment in my future and the future for all other Scouts in the greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky.
Good job, Sam.
Thank you.
Didn't he do amazing, ladies and gentlemen? So thank you to Sam for sharing your scouting story and for continuing to be an example by living out the Scout Oath and Law. So many of you are joining us today at a table sponsored by a company, and we greatly appreciate that sponsorship. Others of you are here because your table captain asked you to attend. In both cases, Danbury Council is grateful for the support. This event is the single largest fundraiser for scouting in our region and represents nearly 1/4 of the Danbury Council's annual campaign. So at the end of today's program, we're going to be announcing the total support raised from this year's event. And while you are filling out your pledge cards, please enjoy this short video. Not only did it make me want to donate, but it made me want to dance a little bit too. The Dan Beard Council's vision is to develop young adults who are exceptionally prepared to lead in their own way and to make a positive impact in their personal lives, professions, and communities throughout their lifetime. To thrive, today's youth need more nuanced skills, more focused education, and even more practical experience than previous generations. And here now to tell us more about the recent achievements and the vision for the Dan Beard Council is Scout Executive and CEO Andy Zahn. So as CEO, Andy is responsible for providing leadership to the strategic initiatives and effective ongoing operations of the Dan Beard Council. He leads a talented and dedicated staff of 30 professionals that oversee the delivery of scouting programs in 12 counties throughout Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky. Prior to being named Scout Executive, Andy served as the Deputy Scout Executive and Chief Operating Officer of the Greater St. Louis Area Council. Andy also has held past executive positions in the Dan Beard and Hawkeye Area Councils. Andy is an Eagle Scout, of course he is, as well as a recipient of the National Distinguished Service Award presented by the National Committee of the Order of the Arrow, Scouting's National Honor Society. Most recently, Andy was awarded the National Eagle Scout Association Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. This award recognizes Eagle Scouts who inspire others through their positive actions, demonstrating excellence in their chosen profession, hobby, community service, and adherence to religious beliefs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Scout Executive and CEO of our Dan Beard Council, Eagle Scout, Mr. Andy Zahn. Give him a big round of applause.
Kyle, thank you so much for that very kind introduction, and good afternoon to each of you. Thank you so much for joining us today for lunch. It is truly a privilege to stand before you today as we gather in support of one of the most impactful movements in the entire world, Scouting. Each of you is here because you believe in the power of shaping young lives and the importance of instilling timeless values and in the promise of a brighter future built through leadership, service, and adventure. You know, Scouting is not just about tying knots or camping in the dead of winter or earning badges. It's about building character. It's about preparing young people to be strong leaders, compassionate citizens, and resilient individuals. It is about fostering the kind of responsibility, teamwork, and integrity that our communities so desperately need today. But none of this happens by accident. It happens because of dedicated volunteers who mentor and guide. It happens because of generous supporters who believe in investing in our youth. It happens because people like you decide that the next generation is worth the effort. Most of you here, I'm sure, know the Scout motto, be prepared. This has been the motto of over 100 million American youth in our country for the last 115 years. And Dan Beard Council is taking this motto to the next level in 2025 and beyond. We want our Scouts in Greater Cincinnati to be prepared for more. We know that Scouting prepares youth for adventure and confidence. I'd like you to meet Emily Cosina. Emily spent years tagging along with her brothers to their Cub Scout meetings and to family campouts. When Scouting welcomed young women into the Scout program, Emily jumped at the chance to forge her own path as a founding member of Troop 1750 in Mason, Ohio. In 2021, Emily made her first trek at the Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico, having never really backpacked before. After the 2-week journey in the wilderness with her troop, she learned she was capable of way more than she ever gave herself credit for. And this newfound confidence spurred her on to attend the National Youth Leadership Training, where she thrived, earning the role of Senior Patrol Leader and taking leadership skills that she learned with her troop to a new level, now teaching leadership skills to younger Scouts. Emily states, "Scouting, whereas I got to really take control of who I wanted to be, Now an Eagle Scout and a senior in high school, Emily plans on attending college next year, majoring in chemical engineering. Scouting also prepares youth for service and growth. Scouting prepared Eagle Scout and West Point Academy cadet in the class of 2028, Jack Gerber of Loveland, Ohio, by instilling leadership, discipline, and essential skills that align with the Academy's rigorous expectations. In Scouting, Jack learned to lead groups, to make decisions under pressure, and take responsibility, crucial for success as a cadet. Activities like hiking and camping and survival skills built physical endurance, mental toughness, and resilience, traits that are needed for military training. Scouting fosters a deep sense of duty, of honor, and of country. In fact, our Scout oath has remained unchanged for 115 years. In recent years, nearly 20% of all incoming cadets at West Point are Eagle Scouts, and over 35% of all cadets have some sort of scouting experience. I don't believe that this is coincidental. Though he was not able to attend, I'd like to thank Cadet Gerber for his service to our country with a round of applause. Scouting also prepares youth for opportunities and success. By developing foundational leadership skills and values through their participation in the Scout program, youth are well prepared to assume leadership roles and make meaningful contributions when they enter the workforce. Consider the impact of a workforce that is grounded in the values of Scouting: integrity, loyalty, and service to others. These are the qualities that drive innovation, that foster collaboration, and create a positive work culture. When corporations invest in Dan Beard Council, they are investing in the future leaders of their organizations. Individuals who are not only technically proficient, but are also ethical, compassionate, and driven to make a real difference in the world. The Building Industry Association in Northern Kentucky recently forecasted a 60,000 skilled trade labor deficit just in greater Cincinnati over the next decade. Addressing this deficit is a matter of economic necessity. As we confront the challenges of an increasingly competitive global economy, we must recognize the critical role that skilled trades play in driving innovation, driving growth, and sustaining our community. This is a problem that Scouting is solving head-on. For those that were in attendance last year at the Good Scout Award Luncheon, you might recall me sharing our vision of developing a year-round learning center to introduce youth to possible careers in the skilled trades. Today, I am proud to announce that thanks to the visionary lead gift by Performance Automotive Network and the Dever Family Foundation, this dream is coming to reality in May as we break ground on the Dever Family Skilled Trades Education Center at Camp Friedlander. This 9,200 square foot facility will be leveraged year-round by Scouts and non-Scouts alike, serving as a laboratory to break bias and illustrate how a career in the trades can not only fill a regional talent gap, but more importantly, provide for a successful and fulfilling career, provide a very competitive living wage, all of which strengthens our greater Cincinnati community. We have a skilled trade center informational table in the back of the ballroom where you can get more information on how to get involved, or to sign up for more information. You can check in your program or on the QR code on the screen. You know, success in the skilled trades isn't just about learning technical skills, however. It's about leadership, it's about teamwork, it's about problem solving, and that is where Scouting comes in. Through hands-on experiences, our merit badges and trades like welding, like engineering, and mentorship from industry professionals, Scouting is equipping young people with the confidence and work ethic they need to excel. When companies support scouting, they're not just investing in youth, they're investing in their future workforce that will drive our region forward. And none of this, all of this rather, it's not just a conceptual program. In fact, Scouting has been doing this for decades, long before plans were drawn to build the Skilled Trade Center. I want you to meet Max Plessinger. Max is an Eagle Scout. He attended Scarlet Oaks in their diesel mechanic program. He graduated from Madeira High School and Great Oaks in 2022 and was accepted into Caterpillar's Think Big program and attended 2 years of school at the Owens Community College in Toledo, Ohio. It was a very selective program, and he was sponsored by Ohio CAT. He attended CAT classes during the day, then evening classes to achieve an associate's degree. He now works full-time for Ohio CAT in Sharonville, making great money, has a 401k, has a pension, and he's 20 years old. Max got his first taste of mechanics through the Scouting Merit Badge curriculum and is now thriving as a young adult. Max's story is just one of countless stories that illustrate how hard work and guidance from mentors can lead to a very rewarding career. Max and his mother, Michelle, are with us today. Max, would you please stand? We'd like to congratulate you on all of your achievements, both in and out of Scouting. Max, we're really proud of you. By making the decision to be part of the Scouting movement today, you will be a part of building a pipeline of talent and making a tangible impact on the future of our community. So I urge you all to consider your gift today not just as a tax write-off, but as a strategic investment in the future success of our workforce and our society as a whole. I am confident that we can accomplish all of this together. I'd like to take a moment to thank today's incredibly energetic MC, Kyle Inskeep. Kyle's commitment to leadership and service to the greater Cincinnati region is unparalleled. We are so thrilled and so grateful for his support of Scouting and his impact on our region's youth. So please join me in thanking Kyle for his willingness to be a key part of today's program. Through the support of folks like you and like the gentleman that I'm about to introduce, the Danbury Council is leading the way in preparing youth to be real difference makers in our communities and in our workplaces in the future. Today, we are pleased to honor a great Cincinnati firm and an individual who embodies the characteristics of being trustworthy leaders that have been loyal volunteers to our community. Mr. Gary Heiman, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Standard Textile, is guided by values that resonate with the values of Scouting: integrity, commitment, accountability, corporate social responsibility, and innovation. Under Gary's visionary leadership, Standard Textile has grown from a regional distributor into a global powerhouse with 24 manufacturing facilities across 12 countries, serving customers in over 90 markets. But beyond these numbers, which are impressive, his influence is measured in the industry. That he has revolutionized, the communities that he has uplifted, and the innovations that have reshaped textile manufacturing. From pioneering manufacturing in Israel's Negev desert to revitalizing U.S. textile production, Gary has always been ahead of the curve, blending business success with social impact. His commitment to technology-driven solutions has earned the company more than 150 patents, redefining what is possible in healthcare and hospitality and beyond. Gary's leadership is rooted in a legacy that began in 1940, when his grandfather, literally surviving against all odds, founded Standard Textile in a Cincinnati apartment. Today, Gary, alongside his son, Alex, continues that legacy with the same entrepreneurial spirit, commitment to excellence, and drive to make a difference. Before Gary comes on stage, I'd like to read an introduction written by one of our honorees' friends and one of Danbury Council's most ardent supporters in the community, George Vincent. George wrote to me that it is a true honor to recognize Gary as this year's recipient of the Good Scout Award. He embodies the very essence of scouting, demonstrating strong character, dedication to service, and a commitment to faith and family. While building an outstanding business, Gary has never wavered in his efforts to give back, making a meaningful impact both locally and globally. His lifelong commitment to staying sharp in both mind and body serves as an inspiration to us all. Alongside his wife, Kim, Gary has been a force for good, leading with generosity, with humility and action. Many in Cincinnati have benefited from their kindness, whether through quiet, behind-the-scenes support or through high-profile efforts that led to countless record-breaking successes. Growing up in Bond Hill, Gary learned the value of hard work and resourcefulness very early on, values that continue to benefit the many organizations that he and Kim support today. George wasn't able to join us today, but I couldn't have said it better myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me in celebrating this remarkable scout at heart and our 2025 Good Scout, Mr. Gary Heiman.
Okay, so actually we're going to do this in interview fashion today, but before we start the interview, I just want to give my true heartfelt thanks to all of our sponsors, to everybody here who is supporting the Scouts of America in this luncheon and beyond. And I have to give a special thank you and shout out to all of our associates who have worked very hard. And I'm not going to start naming names because I will inadvertently forget somebody, but some people have worked very, very hard on this event and to raise money for this event. And for that, I thank them very, very much.
Standard Textile was founded July 1st, 1940.
The company was founded because my grandfather escaped from concentration camp.
My dad, Charles, he tried to get a job in Cincinnati, which was the only city that he knew. He had a cousin in America, so he had to make a living for the four, and he decided, since he knew textiles from Munich, Germany, that he would try to start something in the textile business. I think originally when my dad went out into the field, he went to the small hotels and he was honest with them from day one. He told them he's just starting the business. He told them of his expertise. Instead of just offering a product at a cheaper price, he wanted to know what they're using, what they're not happy with, and maybe with his textile knowledge, he could help them. And that's exactly what he did.
Charles founded the company basically just to provide for his family. He was here, he was unemployed, he had 2 children and a wife to support, and he only spoke German, so he couldn't really get a job here. especially considering unemployment rates during the Great Depression. So he started the company to provide for himself and his family, but then once he got it off the ground a little bit, he started to think about how he could actually provide more for his community.
I think it goes without saying that no one person could create a company like this or an organization like this alone. And so I really give all the credit to many of our great associates who have been with the company for many years and have made a lot of this possible.
I think that Standard Textile throughout its entire history has had two core values that have really taken us from where we started at nothing to where we are today. The first one would definitely be integrity, that we say what we think and we do what we say. And then a second value that our company's had since the very beginning, I would say, is creativity. And it's looked different with every generation and as the business has evolved, but creativity has really been how we've outmaneuvered competitors through generations.
The key to winning and the key to being successful is innovation. And I think that the number of patents that we have and the number of people that we have dedicated solely to innovation and product development has been and will be critical to our success.
I think the founding members of Standard Textile would be so surprised and so elated about where this company is today. And I think it's more than how we've grown or what we've accomplished financially or in terms of size. I think they would be thrilled to see that this company is still made up of people who care most about what they can accomplish and about how they can bring products and services to the healthcare and hospitality industries that really will make improvements for the end users.
Another big round of applause for our honoree here. And I told Gary this earlier when we were talking today. He's the type of leader you want to work for because he works so hard, it makes his team and others around him want to work so hard. I'm happy where I am, but I may call you for a job here someday.
Anytime.
We are
I
all.
just want to tell you before you start, all the questions that you're going to ask me, they've already been answered with the
In that video?
and everything else. I'm sure. Are you sure you got the right guy up here?
I'm positive we got it. If not, we're going to have a problem.
Okay. All right.
So we are all so proud to honor Gary for your leadership and your service to our entire region and even beyond that, right? Gary, it's a privilege for me to be with you here today and to get to learn more about how your innovation, your leadership, and your service has guided your life both personally and professionally. So you ready to get to these questions?
I'm ready.
All right, this isn't like a journalistic interview, so I'm not going to rapid fire, ask follow-ups, anything like that. We're just going to have a good time and hopefully learn a little bit more about you and all of your wonderful service here to the community. Right, everybody? There we go.
Okay, so you have your tape recorder on? Okay.
No cameras in the building today. So what does the Good Scout recognition mean to you personally, Gary?
Well, to me personally, and actually Alex said it in the video, it means integrity and honesty. And really building a culture with those two guidestones in it. And I think we've done that, and that is one of the things that has made us successful. The other thing that's truly a part of our culture is innovation. Without innovation, you could be one of, I don't know, hundreds of textile manufacturers around the world that are producing generic product that do the same thing that they've done 50 years ago. We use new and advanced fibers and technologies and build products that last longer or better for the customer, for the patient, for the guests in the room, and overall, they reduce costs.
Innovation is what separates the good from the best, right? That's why you are the best, man.
Absolutely, but you can't sit on your laurels when you're the best, because the best you can only get better if you keep going.
Somebody's always coming for that spot. So Scouting America emphasizes leadership, integrity, and service. How have these values influenced your career and then also your leadership style? And I'm intrigued to hear this because I think you're a really good leader. Even in just the small amount of time that I've known you, I can tell you lead from the heart.
I try to. But I think that a good leader will empower people and will build people and allow them to grow. A person who keeps all of their good qualities to themselves and doesn't let others that are working for them grow or have a chance to grow and to advance in any organization is not a leader. And the last thing I would say is leaders make decisions. If you don't make decisions, you're not a leader. You can collaborate with your team, which I highly recommend and I highly push. You can certainly get their thoughts and opinions, but at the end of the day, everything falls on your shoulders, and you have to make a final decision.
This is why you're a leader and I'm a worker, because I'm indecisive. I do not like making those key decisions, but we need folks like you. I'm going to scoop these bottles of water back. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Actually, my wife would call me impulsive.
There was some laughter from the Standard Textile table over there when you said that. So the Scouts teach resourcefulness and resilience, two qualities essential in business. So can you share a time when these traits, helped you navigate a major challenge? Go ahead and take a drink of water. We'll wait for you. Thanks. We're all here to honor you. I know it's a lot talking up here, so take your little sip of water, and then we'll go back to the question. So I'll read it again. The Scouts teach resourcefulness and resilience, two qualities essential in business. Can you share a time when these traits maybe helped you navigate a major challenge? And I'm sure there's been many challenges in your life.
50 years, I would say. Woo. So. But anyway, I still remember we were sitting in one of our plants in the United States, and by the way, we came back and really built our manufacturing in the United States to the largest state ever in about 2014, and that's when Bill Marriott came to me and asked if we would be willing to do a sole source program for Marriott Corporation for North America. So where a good leader is willing to take risks, and I've certainly taken a lot of risks in my life, and some of those have turned out great, some of those not so good. But you have to be willing to take those.
I love how you say Bill Marriott so casually, like the Marriott hotel chain. You say Bill Marriott.
Yeah, Bill and I are good friends.
Okay. I love it. So many Scouts go on to become leaders in their industries. What advice would you give to young Scouts today about leadership and success?
Okay, so basically I said it before, but young Scout leaders should endeavor to bring up those that are under them, beneath them, that are coming up with them, and basically building those leadership skills in those that you're responsible for.
I love that.
You love that? Okay.
Standard Textile has a reputation for supporting community initiatives, just like this one here today. In fact, you and your wife, Kim, co-chaired United Way in 2018. Thank you for doing that as well. How do you see corporate leaders playing a bigger role in youth development programs just like the Scouts?
I think that, there's no, people have told me time and time again, look, you've done this, you've done that, you've done enough. You can just sit down, relax, enjoy life. And I believe that there's really no end to how much you can do. And I think that expanding that knowledge that you've gained to the young leaders of tomorrow is essential, and that leaders today that have kind of reached my level and level in life, my age and so forth.
21.
21, right. Should be willing to go out into the community and impart that knowledge and those experiences to others, and the Scouts are a great example.
So anytime I do these conversations, I always like to do the takeaways. So the takeaways for me were make decisions, be decisive, take risk, whether that's in your personal life or in business, and always continue to give back. Do you think that'd be a good summation of this conversation that we just had?
I think that would be an excellent summation.
A+ all around?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Did you guys enjoy? Oh, go ahead.
You actually said it better than I did, so that's great.
I don't think so. Can we say congratulations once again and thank you for your extraordinary support of scouting here in Danbury Council and across the country. You guys are already doing it, but can we give one more round of applause for Gary Heiman and the entire team from Standard Textile? We can stand up for Gary for all of his hard work, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a big round of applause. Stand up so you can receive all of this. All of this for you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Can I just say one thing? That in the questions that I saw, the potential questions, they said, in your younger life, in your earlier life, if you could have taken one decision sooner, what would you have done? And that would have been to get married. Oh. I actually waited. It's hard. As a bachelor, you're having fun and so forth, so you don't want to do it. But Kim and I have been married for 40 years, and if we could have been married for 45, that would be even greater, right?
Where's Kim? Can we get a wave for Kim? Aww. That is beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks
Gary.
a lot. Let me just see.
I think they're going to come and take these chairs. We should be
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, Mr. Troy Smith. A big round of applause for Mr. Troy Smith. Smith, of course, played college football at The Ohio State University. Any Buckeye fans in the building? Oh, there we go. I'm glad somebody else did that. I'm from Indiana, so I'm not familiar with all the OHIO chants. I knew there was something I was missing there. Where he had a remarkable tenure as the starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. In 2006, he had a standout season, leading the Buckeyes to an undefeated regular season and securing a spot in the BCS National Championship game against the Florida Gators. His exceptional performance on the field earned him the prestigious Heisman Trophy, awarded annually to the most outstanding player in college football. His achievements extend to receiving prestigious honors such as the Walter Camp Award and the Davey O'Brien Award for his outstanding quarterbacking skills. Now, Smith became the first Ohio State player to win the Heisman since Eddie George in 1995. His ability to lead the team combined with his impressive passing skills and on-field intelligence contributed significantly to his Heisman win. Today, he works with organizations addressing the mental health challenges of youth and encouraging kids to stay active and healthy. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Troy Smith right here to the Queen City.
That song, you know what I mean? And then as long as it's playing, I'm gonna let it keep going, keep going, keep going. You gotta forgive me today too, guys, for wearing my hat. If you don't know, our Ohio State Buckeyes are national champions again. Round of applause. We should be super happy about that. We brought the hardware back to the Buckeye State where it's most comfortable, where it needs to be. Just in its entirety, because I'm 50% in the game, it's not easy to win the national championship. When I was a redshirt freshman, led by Craig Krenzel and some other guys, we got a chance to win the national championship. Those were good times with Jim Tressel. But later on in my career, my senior season, we didn't get a chance to win it. So I understand the ups and the downs. You got to have a little bit of luck. You got to temper egos. You have to temper expectations. And then when all else fails, call correct plays that's going to make Will Howard look good. You know what I mean? Call those plays, then we mix in some Travion. Travion Henderson's amazing. We mix in a little Judkins. Judkins brought a different north and south beast that we needed to see and do. And then the pièce de résistance is throwing the deep ball to Jeremiah Smith to end the game. You know what I mean? So simple, but not easy. But we're champions, so give me another round of applause, please. Kind of a segue into what we're here to talk about today. My life, how it correlates to you, how it resonates, how to become elite, how to be prepared for more, and ultimately how to levitate and mature through circumstances. Another thing, too, that kind of caught me off guard, because this is for the Scouts, there's not a lot of kids in here. Where are all the kids at? You know what I mean? I just knew that I was going to be relaying this message to a bunch of kids. We got some kids in the corner over there, so some of the things that I might say might be a little bit funny to them, but not to you guys, so I apologize. Let you guys know the reason why I'm here truly, too, is because my story is rooted in mental health. Specifically today, we wouldn't be here as a group if our mental health wasn't where it was supposed to be. It means so much. We are an Ohio family with ties and relatives all through the state. Youngstown, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Dayton, Toledo, and a couple other more cities. Point is, as you look at me today, I'm an Ohio boy through and through. So hopefully the things that we talk about today really set in and resonate, because it's real and all things are possible. Was born in Columbus, moved to Springfield, Ohio with my mother, lived there until about 5 or 6, then moved to Cleveland when I turned 7. For me, this is when my major shift happened. It didn't make sense to me at first. Just being a kid, you would like things to be happy-go-lucky, you would like things to go your way, but tumultuous times for me were right around the corner. The early things that I had to accept as a foster kid was understanding that things weren't always going to go my way, weren't always going to be perfect. Didn't want to accept that my number one lady or my mother within the biological world would have left me, but you know, it is what it is. I had to fend for myself, I had to figure some things out. And the White family was tremendous along that way. Without them, I wouldn't be here. The family portion of everything that we're talking about is so crucial. That's why we're here today. If it wasn't for family, a lot of the kids in this corner, you literally wouldn't be able to be here today. You can't even drive. You don't have a car yet, so you need your family. You know what I mean? The majority of the kids that I do see in here, you still got to thank your family, because in those different ways, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have the chances and opportunities that you have. We need our parents. I need my parents. I needed them then, but it just didn't happen the perfect way the first time around. So imagine yourself from the ages of 7 to 14 looking for your parents and they're not there. Well, this was my story. The White family was a tremendous family, but you know, any person in their right mind, you want your real family. You want the biological people that helped you become who you're supposed to be. I had to sit in however many situations and understand that this is my life. It wasn't specifically because of the choices and decisions I made, but because of the folks that fostered me into this world. Now that I'm 40 with kids of my own and a family, I understand that all of those choices and decisions lie on me for the kids that I bring into this world. This is why today is so important. When you hear certain points and facts from the same people over and over, those words can fall on deaf ears. To my son and daughter, I know for a fact that at times I'm kind of like Darth Vader to them. You know what I mean? I'm like coming down the hall, and unless I got a sandwich in my hand, then I'm the worst dude in the world. And then they let me in their room, and I got the sandwich over my head like a servant, you know what I mean, trying to get in on their good side. And it's seriously real in this day and age, because the ways that, whether it is our attention span or the dopamines, the different things in our head, it's with the click of a finger. It's with the swipe of a left or a right where their attention span goes. That's why everything that I'm trying to teach them is so important. That's why our conversation here today is so important. And also, you know, across the board, it's not easy just to get the youth and specific people to understand the most important things in life. So today, I wish more kids were here, but parents, we're going to do like a role reversal. I know at home at times, mom and dad, when you're giving your 2 cents, the kids, you know, either ignore you or just don't pay attention to you. So that's why today's meeting should help the kids a little bit more, because it's not exactly the parents hammering home. Hopefully some of the things that I say today, because we're from Ohio, because we all kind of go through the same things, some of it sets in and resonates and it makes some sense. So let's dive into mental health for a little bit. The specific reasons why I'm here has everything to do with mental health. At one point in time at Ohio State, it was, you know, incredibly simple and easy to be successful, to do some things and take your career into the future and be the person that you wanted to be. Those tumultuous times for me happened, and it didn't transpire and equal out to the ways that I wanted it to to be in a fairy tale-like sense. But we still had some good times. 40 years of experience, I better understand that unprocessed trauma and grief stays there. And it simmers underneath the surface and starts to come out in other ways of your life. In the choices and decisions you make, in your interpersonal relationships, it acts as an escapist behavior. I can't deal with this, so I'm not going to deal with this. And I'm going to use whatever vice I need to feel adequate. I just spoke about it before as a youth. You know, the versions of me thinking was incredibly jacked up because I didn't have my father or my mother there. You gotta forgive me too, because it kind of catches me off guard when I think about it, because we've come so long. I mean, we've come so far and it's been so long, but we're still getting through it. And when we are young and betrayed in any interpersonal relationship or intimate relationship, or even a platonic one, we start to feel that no one is trustworthy. So we start living our life in a way that no one can be trusted. This is what happened to me as a foster kid. The person or people who I was supposed to love the most and be there with, the person and the people who were supposed to have my back betrayed me. Not only did they betray me, but I was left to make sense of it on my own. Can remember feelings with the Whites as a family, even though they were a great family, that at any given time when they got upset with me, I could be kicked out of their home. As a 7-year-old through the ages of 14, that's a feeling that you don't want to feel. There were great times, there were not so good times, but they taught me the value of family and what it really means. Being in a situation with my family before the foster scenario, we had been kicked out of places before, so I'm no stranger of lack and survival. There are lessons at the bottom that you have to learn that privilege and being at the top could never teach you. All different types of adjectives that can be used to describe a great person or a life of high value. One word we like to use is integrity. Integrity is the adherence to moral and ethical principles, undiminished, unimpaired, or perfect in condition. To be moral, I seen that earlier in the clips. He was talking about being moral. Being moral is capable of conforming to the rules of right conduct. And then the last one is loyalty that I like to use. Now this word is tricky, and it's tricky because everybody's definition of loyalty is something different. Webster says loyalty is defined as the state or quality of being loyal, faithfulness to commitments or obligations, faithful adherence to a sovereign, government, leader, cause, etc. Always had trouble with this word because in a world where so much was taken from me early on, I developed the ability to love hard, to latch on to things, because I was left by my number one girl in my biological family. So around 7 or 8 years old, when I looked at people or saw life, I'd be very stoic. I have an approach of apathy. Apathy meaning absence or suppression of passion, emotion, or excitement. So when I was loyal, I found someone or gave someone the excitement and the love that I thought that I deserved. It was genuine. It was real. Never a chance and never a thought of thinking about treachery or stabbing someone in the back. Always been overly empathetic, overly thoughtful. Somehow, what you feel, I can feel. That old adage of namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. It's simple, but not easy. I say all of this to say these things. If you are having a tough time finding your way, remember that the power behind one positive thought can change the world. Sometimes we go about in pity for ourselves, and all the while a great wind is carrying us to our destiny. No one tells you how hard it is to rewire your brain to allow amazing things to happen after experiencing so much pain. Blessings exist. Good people exist. A softer life exists. You have to let things go, let it flow, and let it happen. Just like we mentioned before, now being 40, with kids in a family, and learning and understanding that that lack of trust can turn into anger, it can turn into substance abuse, it can turn into you being distant and absent in your platonic or interpersonal life. These things are so real, but at the same time, there's a cure. The other cool thing about this cure is we all possess this superpower. Guess what this superpower is? The power of your thoughts. Simple, but not easy. Your thoughts create your reality. At any given moment, with people, dealing with human beings, the person at that moment or at that place in time with the strongest thoughts or beliefs is going to win. They're going to become victorious or get their point across to start the paradigm shift. This is what life is, alchemy. A magical power or process as transmuting a common substance, usually of little value, into a substance of great value. This is our most common and fundamental thread as human beings, to be selfless, to help, to have empathy and compassion, and to be there for one another. In a world where baseless opinions on social media, propaganda, and the ability to swipe left and right controls the majority of our minds, be the small percentage that will stick to old school morals and scruples. Say please, say thank you, gentlemen. Get back to opening the doors and car doors for the women in your lives. And then here's what's cool. Here's the quid pro quo, the this for that. Women, ladies, ma'am, if we open the door for you, you can reach over to council and open the door for us too. I mean, you're already in the car, you know what I mean? Now, business is prominent in this day and age. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the successful and prominent stewards of business all through the city of Cincinnati. And because we have so many prominent business figures here today, these great stewards of business in this world wouldn't be here or be successful if they didn't take it up a notch and be prepared for more. It is often said that success is where preparation and opportunity meet. But what happens when the opportunities that come our way are greater than what we anticipate? What happens when we are called to do more, to be more, to achieve more? The answers lie in preparation, not just for what we expect, but for what we never saw coming. Being prepared for more means cultivating a mindset of continuous growth. It means developing our skills, expanding our knowledge, and embracing challenges long before they present themselves. It means not waiting for the right moment, but making every moment count. Think about the world's most accomplished individuals, leaders, innovators, and visionaries. They did not just simply rise to the occasion, they prepared for it. They trained, they studied, they failed, and then they tried again after that. They did not settle for the skills they had. They pursued the ones they needed. They understood that preparation is not a one-time act, but a lifelong commitment. So how do we prepare for more? First, we must embrace discomfort. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. It happens when we take on new responsibilities, push past our fears, and strive for excellence even when the path is uncertain. Second, we must adopt a learning mindset, the willingness to grow, to ask questions, to challenge ourselves. These are the habits that separate those who succeed from those who simply get by. Finally, we must position ourselves for opportunity. Preparation is not just the right skills, it's about being in the right place with the right attitude, ready to step forward when the moment arrives. The future belongs to those who are ready and those who are not ready alike. And being ready is not about predicting what will come next. It's about preparing ourselves so no matter what comes, we will rise to meet things head on. So today, I challenge you, prepare for more. Prepare for bigger dreams, greater opportunities, and unexpected doors that will open in your life. Because when preparation meets opportunity, greatness is inevitable. Thank you, guys.
Let's stand on our feet and give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So before we conclude, you guys can sit down. I mean, unless you want to give me a standing ovation. No, just kidding. Before we conclude, I skipped over a really important part of the program. I want to take a moment and recognize the small army of volunteers who spend so much time and did a lot of hard work to plan and implement today's event. The 2025 Good Scout Award Luncheon Committee, can you please stand so we can recognize you for all of your hard work? And can we also give a big round of applause to the incredible serving staff here at Music Hall? The food was great, the service was great. The mashed potatoes were exceptional. I was really excited about that myself. So thanks again to each and every one of you for your support of the Dan Beard Council. To conclude our event, I am proud to announce that we have raised more than $450,000 to support our local scouting programs. Yeah, that's a big round of applause. But I think we can do even better than that. So if you still have a pledge card at your table, there are staff waiting by the doors to collect those as you leave to head back to work, school, wherever you are going. Please, please, please donate. You saw the incredible impact that this organization has had on so many young people, and we want to continue that, right? Yeah, so we need a little money to make that happen. So we look forward to seeing you once again next year when we are back to honor another outstanding Good Scout from our community. Did you guys have a good time this afternoon? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming, and get to wherever you are going next safely. And again, we'll see you next year.